Hello everybody, my name is Zen, and in case you don't know, I'm a Star Wars superfan. If you've been on the channel any length of time, you've probably figured this out by now. I talk about Star Wars a lot, even though I don't necessarily do a bunch of Star Wars content. And to begin with, the channel was originally founded upon doing Star Wars content for the Old Republic, so it has a long history of doing a bunch of Star Wars stuff. And man, we're in a really good age of Star Wars right now. We're getting some great shows, including Andor, I think is one of the best pieces of Star Wars content ever. And in the lead up to Jedi Survivor, which comes out later this month, I'm going to be doing a full playthrough of that, just like I did with Fallen Order, which is a game that you're seeing in the background. If you haven't watched that series, go watch it. It's great. You're going to want to, because Fallen Order was a fantastic game with an incredible Star Wars canon story. And Cal Kestis, who could easily show up on any one of the shows at any given point, is a really, really cool character. And then Jedi Survivor is looking to be like an incredible game as well. So you're going to want to watch that if you haven't, in order to jump into Survivor, either to play it or to watch my playthrough of it, or why not both? So in the lead up to that, I decided that I'm going to do this really cool project. I'm going to rank all of the on-screen appearances of Star Wars. That means all of the movies and all of the TV shows. I'm going to do it by reviewing and ranking each of them. So originally, it was just going to be one mega video that I record in bits and slowly piece it together. But as I've been working on it, I've come across a bit of a problem, and I need your guys' feedback. This is what this video is for. So I'm going to put a poll in the description and in the comments that you can go look. It's going to be on the channel community page that you can go fill out. But you can also just leave your comment on this video, and that would also help out a lot. Or, both actually, preferably fill out the poll and leave a comment. But I need to know how I should do this, because there's a few ways to go about doing it. It's very complicated. So in the process of pre-production for this video, of doing my proper research and writing out some thoughts and everything on all of these different properties, I have decided that I'm going to split the video. So the first video will be all of the movies. That includes all of the Star Wars story movies, like Rogue One and Solo, but it's also going to include the entire Skywalker saga, so episodes 1 through 9, and I'm going to do a full review and ranking of those movies in one video. If you've ever watched anything like, what's a good example? Like the Kind of Funny in review series, I think that is a pretty good way to put it in your head of kind of what this series or this video is going to be. It's a couple videos, maybe a few videos, where I'm just going to break each movie down and from a critical Star Wars point of view, and from like a writing and how much I actually just enjoyed the movie and its production and stuff like that. And that is all going to factor into where I rank each of the movies. And I'm doing this so I can have a place that I can send people. Definitively, this is my rankings of everything, and this is how I feel about each of the things. And then as new stuff comes out, so like when Ahsoka comes out later in August of this year, I'll be able to add that to the list. So I'll be able to do once the season is done, I'll be able to go make a video. This is what I thought. This is where it's going to end up on the list. But yeah, the first video is going to be all just the movies, and then I'm going to do all of the shows. This is where it gets complicated, and this is where I need your feedback, because I could either do it as a show, so like Clone Wars. I'm going to put the Clone Wars in that list of the movies and everything, and where does it fall? And I could just throw in just the Clone Wars. But those of you who know, Clone Wars has 7 seasons, and many of those seasons are not great. The latter half of Clone Wars is freaking phenomenal. So, like, how do I rank that? Do I do each individual season of each show and put that on there? I think in a way that would make more sense long term, because if I'm doing like Ahsoka and then I already have Mandalorian ranked on there, but then Mando season 4 comes out, and then Ahsoka season 2 is about to come out. Like, how do I then re-rank those things with a new season in mind? Do I replace where the show is fitting? That doesn't really, I don't know. Like, does that make sense? Or should I do each individual season? It's going to be a lot more work if it is each individual season for a video where I'm breaking it down like that. Maybe I even break it down further. And this is another thing that, again, I need your feedback on. Do I break it down further and do like an episode of this ranking where I do all of the Clone Wars episodes and put them in the list? And then I do all of the episodes of Mandalorian, and then I do all of the episodes of Rebels and stuff like that and throw it in there and kind of figure out each season, not episode, and figure out how all these like put into the list in some form or fashion, then just have this mega ultra list that I have put together of my rankings of everything. I think that would be ideal as the final part, but I just don't know how watchable that would be. So let me know in the comments and go take the poll of what you think I should do, whether I should lump all of the seasons into one and just put the show in a ranking, or if I should break the show down into different seasons, or if I should separate the movies versus the shows and have two separate rankings, or should I do both? Should I have a master list of the rankings and then also have a master list of just the shows? That way you can kind of also separate them out and be like, well, let's move all of the movies out of there. What does the shows look like as far as the ranking is concerned? And if you're not interested in this kind of thing, totally understand, but I do appreciate if you also just kind of stick around for the series and join in and see what it's like and kind of see where I'm going with this, because I'm going to get a little nitty gritty on some of this stuff, and I'm going to get very nerdy about the Star Wars lore and what all is happening and my excitement for it. That's the other thing. I'm really excited for some of the really good stuff. We're going to talk about the bad stuff, but I'm also really excited for a lot of this good stuff and how it's coming together. So I need a direction on this before I could continue, which is why I need to make this video. So yeah, let me know what you think I should do for those things. If you have any better ideas, obviously throw them in the comments. And if you're not interested in any of this, also let me know. If you're just like, I'm not interested in you ranking and reviewing all of the Star Wars movies. Look, I totally get that, but I want to hear from you if that's the case, because even that kind of feedback is valuable to the way that I approach this. And finally, if this is popular enough, if this has a strong enough following for this particular series, because again, the channel was founded on Star Wars content, and there's a lot of Star Wars fans here. So, and a lot of those Star Wars fans also respect a lot of my Star Wars opinions on things because of just the weird experience that I've had through life and how I come at it from a different angle from a lot of people. But I also have a production brain, so I'm able to critically review things in a different format than some others might be able to, and in a unique way for sure. So my opinion is going to be different than those that you might have watched before. But the thing is, if this is all successful, I'm also considering to do a full ranking of all of the Star Wars games. Let me say that again. All of the Star Wars games. There is a lot of them. That would be an ongoing series where I would play through a game, throw it in a list, play through the game, throw it in a list. Then I would initially do a full set of, hey, here's all the games I played, which is a significant amount, and how would I rank them? And I would go back to those and get a refresher, just like I'm doing now for this movie review. I've watched all through the movies, and I'm trying to re-rank them and write down my thoughts and everything for that to be prepared for the video. So I do the same thing for the games. Would I do a master list of everything in there? I don't know. That seems like a lot of work. But we'll see how that ends up panning out. It may not be popular enough for me to do all the games, but that would be like the ideal thing. And if I did that, it would be later this year, especially because we have got some really good Star Wars games, like really good Star Wars games. Some of them are canonical, like Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Some of them not. And I think that would also be a very interesting discussion to have on that kind of stuff of what works and what doesn't, and what can Lucasfilm take out of these weird just sub stories in Star Wars use in the future. Like at Star Wars Celebration, this is a great example this year. They announced all of the eras that they're going to be referring to. So it starts with the First Jedi, which I find interesting, goes to the Old Republic. So the Old Republic is officially canon. We've kind of known that for a little bit, but now it is officially canon. So Revan can show up in random stuff. If Revan is canonical, we'll find out. And then they have like the High Republic, and then I don't remember how they break it down. It's basically the Galactic Civil War, and then there's a bunch of other like different eras that they have on there, and it ends with the New Jedi or something like that. Basically Rey is creating the new series of the Jedi Order, and there's a lot to talk about there in the movie ranking too. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Anyways, let's wrap this video up. I need your thoughts. Leave them in the comments, please. And would you please also go fill out this poll? Give me a bit of direction so that way I can get this video all produced and released before the 28th when Jedi Survivor comes out. We can enjoy it together and have our discussions on Star Wars stuff. Some people are really going to love my opinions on some of these movies and totally agree with them. Some people are going to be really offended when I say that their beloved movie is not that great, or that, you know, maybe their beloved movie is not as high on my list as I would like it to be because I prefer some of the other movies better. I know that's a little bit of foreshadowing. What am I talking about? Well, you'll just have to be offended when you watch. It's not that bad. I think most people will agree with me on my list. We'll see how it ends up panning out. But with all that being said, thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you all next time.